Hey guys, it's Donnie B, and you are listening to episode 13 of Eat It Up, Buffalo Eat's own podcast and a very proud member of Audio Buffalo, featured right on Buffalo.com. Today on the show we have the Thirsty Dudes, which are Mike, Jason, and Derek, three Buffalonians who love non-alcoholic beverages and love trying something weird and unique and something that you've probably never heard of. They go from all over town shopping at different Asian grocery markets to big lots looking for expired beverages. They really will go anywhere they can to try to find a new drink that they haven't tried yet on the site. They came over probably 2 months ago to talk about how the site got started, some weird stories about running into PR directors for pop companies and getting sent cases and cases of free drinks and I don't know, we kind of just talked about drinks. We even sampled a couple on the podcast, which we have links to in the bottom. But it was probably, to date, is probably my favorite podcast we've done, and I mean that with no disrespect to our previous guests, but we had a really fun time. I don't think I've laughed as much as I ever have on a podcast, and it was just awesome. We had a really fun time talking about drinks. So I hope you guys enjoy it. This one's a little bit longer than normal, so if I apologize if it's too long for you, but we couldn't cut any of the stuff. It was too good. So thank you guys again for listening, and we've actually never had three guests at once in here. So just for the purpose of just for the purpose of people recognizing your voice, would you guys mind introducing yourself and what you do when you're not drinking drinks?
Hello, I am Jason Draper. I run and own a screen printing shop called Wooden T-Shirts, and I play bass in the Failures Union. Very nice. Either of you guys?
You're next.
Hi, I am Derek Neuland, and why are you laughing?
Your name's hilarious.
We know that's not your name.
I am Derek Neuland, and I run a custom button company called Bitpart Buttons, and I also make a personal zine called All Things Ordinary.
I saw your button company. I think they started following me on Twitter one day, and I was like, "Oh, I think that's one of the Thirsty Dudes."
I like how you say they.
Yeah, they. It's just me.
I saw a company name. I assume there's a team of people behind it.
How many people do you have working for you?
Directly underneath you?
Just me.
Donnie is 3 people directly underneath you.
I am Mike. When I'm not drinking drinks, I develop websites.
Nice.
Day in and day out.
Did you develop? I'm assuming you developed the Thirsty Dudes.
Yeah.
Nice.
He did the first one. How did you do? Was the first one WordPress?
It was just WordPress.
Just WordPress. And
Yes,
then,
that's what we are.
And then we kind of Jay and I hijacked it. We without even asking him, kind of assumed he would welcome us in.
Okay.
And I redid the whole thing, and then I think we asked him if we could do it.
After it was done. And we had reviewed several drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that was the thing. Like it's like
it wasn't live yet, but
I kind of let it, like, I got really excited to do it. Then, like, I kind of got busy with other things because I was living in Portland, Oregon at the time. And yeah, then they just were like, "Hey, we're interested in helping you like restart it." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Like, let me know when your site's done." And then they're like, "Oh, okay, site's live," and we each have done 100 drinks. And I was like, "What the hell?"
I remember there was like a point where there was like a pretty big discrepancy between.
Because they had a huge start on me. Because
we didn't go live. We didn't want to go live until we had 75 drinks reviewed.
Wow!
So that it would be some content there.
Yeah.
And
that makes
then
sense.
We did a bunch of reviews and then asked him, and then
I really wish they would have like included me in and said, "Hey, like you should start reviewing more stuff."
You can review when I'm asleep.
So, when did the iPhone app come out? I just noticed that the other day.
It's been a year
6
now?
months ago.
Oh, I'm
between 6 months and a year ago. Yeah, the Android one and the iPhone one out came simultaneously, and this guy that I used to work with, Mark Goldsmith, did it for us. Just, I want to do an app. I'm like, I can tell you who needs an app. So he did it for us. So it's cool. A lot of people like it. It's just a quick way to see what's updated.
Yeah, I've been using it like the last couple of weeks. It's pretty nice. It looks like legit. It looks like an actual.
Yeah. That's what we're going for. Is legit. Like face value.
Yeah.
Not legitimate at all, but iPhone app puts us in the contender position.
Yeah. It's something like we think about like a lot, like me and my brother, because that's like the next logical step, I guess. And I'm just lazy and don't know computer stuff.
It's fine.
So Derek, you started. Was it Thirsty Dude or
Thirsty Dudes? It was always thirstydudes.com.
Even if it was just you?
Yes. Yeah. Because the idea wasn't like I am the Thirsty Dudes. Like, it was more kind of like the idea of Thirsty Dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was living in Portland, Oregon at the time, and I had only lived here, and I moved out there, and I just kept on seeing all these really interesting drinks I had never seen before. And I really love to write, so I was like, well, let me write. I want to start writing. I want to justify buying all these sodas and stuff. So I started Thirsty Dudes, and it was just me at the time. It was just a really simple WordPress blog, and I maybe did one review a week.
Nice.
And then I did a couple dozen, and then I just kind of got distracted with other things I was doing in Portland. I was helping organize the Portland Zine Symposium.
Oh, okay.
And that was kind of really time consuming, and so it kind of got pushed to the wayside for a little while until these guys stepped in.
Nice. And now, when was this, roughly?
That was July of 2009, I believe.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then they stepped in, was it September?
Yeah, September or August of the next year.
Of 2010.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
And I think you had about 12 reviews in the can for the year, and then we destroyed your life at the time.
Sorry, I forgot my notes. Have you guys always been adventurous drinkers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Doing the old Burger King Lasertron special of mixing everything together when you're a kid.
Oh, the good old Lasertron special.
You guys got to be excited for the Coke Freestyle coming to Buffalo.
I am, but I haven't found one. That being said, I haven't gone to buy a Whopper in a long time because I heard Burger King is having it.
Five Guys.
And Five Guys? I don't think our Five Guys has it.
Not yet. They I heard that the Five Guys, whoever owns the franchise, paid for the rights to have a freestyle. Okay. He had franchise these fountain drink machines.
Super machine. I'm stoked to make a raspberry Coke. Mm-hmm. I don't think we can review it. I think it's just going to be us just drooling on the machine, saying I'm sorry we can't review anything from here, but I just had a Fresca Powerade Sprite and it was terrible. But that's as far as I can go.
I only played around with one at the Atlanta airport because they had one at a Chick-fil-A, and I'd never heard of it before, and I'm like, wait, it's touchscreen? And so I'm just standing there. There's a line of people behind me. I'm just taking a sip and then pouring it out and trying to do a thing. And I think it's cool. There's a blog that actually reviewed all 127 flavors.
Nice.
Yeah, they went through and tried every single combination they could.
I feel like they'd have to rent the machine.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's just going to be a line of people out the door.
Maybe they work at the establishment, so there's every 20 minutes they can try a new drink.
Yeah.
They work.
Tell you what, they do. They're fired now.
Yeah.
Or they come up with some deal where they can go in after they close.
Yeah.
Just letting them in there for after hours.
We'll give you the keys, but you have 40 ounces of liquid you can drink before something goes off and you have to leave.
So, have you guys been pretty pumped about how the popularity of the site has grown over the last couple of years? Because you guys are getting some pretty good publicity, and I've seen you guys do guest articles on various magazines.
Really expected anyone to care.
For the longest time, I thought it was just our friends that read it, and then I would talk to friends of mine. They're like, "Oh, I just met someone, and I mentioned that I know you, and they were super stoked that I know one of the Thirsty Dudes." I'm like, "What?" These are people outside of this area, in different states. And I was like, other people know about their what? I know we get hits, but it's just I always think it's just us refreshing our pages and looking at all our reviews. That's how it accumulates all the hits every week. But then I hear. But it sucks is I've never had that someone come up to me and go, they've only done it to friends of mine. They're like, "Oh, some of the Thursday guys love this site." It's okay, you should do that when I'm around. I'd like that.
Without exaggeration, every day of my life that I go out in public, I wait for people to come up to me, and it's the dumbest thing because I am no one, and I have like a digital grainy picture of myself, weird chin chugging this fruit juice, and I'm just waiting for the day that I can call Jay and say, somebody recognized me from the Thirsty Dude. But it's never gonna happen.
It took me until this summer where we were at a food event and we were at a Sabres game and some guy came up to me and was like, "Hey, I just want to say like I follow you on Twitter. I really appreciate your blog and everything." Like literally for a week, I was flying high. I wanted to get that guy. Like I wanted to take a picture with him and I wanted to like.
He's the celebrity.
Yeah, I was like beyond ecstatic. But like that was like maybe one of 3 times.
Oh, see, now you're.
But
you got 3 up on us.
But like,
and we're 3 guys.
Talk for yourselves, guys. When I went on tour in this fall, at a bunch of shows, people brought me drinks to review.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
See, I had a few people.
That's awesome.
I had a few people bring me drinks, but like they were already friends that I already knew about. So not like random people. Like
that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That's kind of awesome.
We're gonna have to organize like a Thirsty Dudes going on tour. And then,
that'd be awesome.
And then we don't buy any drinks, and then we rely on other people to buy us drinks. And if they don't buy us drinks,
we will meet you at the street corner in this city. Show up with crates of drinks for us, and gas money.
Yeah.
So I noticed like right before I sent you guys an email because you guys participated as like one of our Buffalo foodies on the site where you guys talked about where you like to eat. Right before that, I noticed that you guys like you were getting free drinks sent to you from like the companies.
Yeah,
correct.
That happens.
Like, how soon was that into the site where that started?
It was a while. We wanted to accrue a good amount of reviews before we started like soliciting companies. But then like once we did, like we were surprised how many people were like, "Yeah, sure, we'll send you some samples." But then the one thing that really started blowing my mind is when companies started contacting us and we're like, "Hey, can we send you something?" And we're like, "What?"
See, that's actually, I think, sweeter than having to.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Totally.
Yeah, this company called Blue, they make energy drinks. They sent us an assorted case of stuff.
Wow.
And other different flavors, and there was a couple that weren't even available in the U.S. But then, like, 3 months later, 2 more cases showed up at my house. It just said, "Thanks for the reviews."
Oh, my God.
Yeah, we've had a few companies do that. I reviewed an anise-flavored soda out of Rochester called Ozone, and she just sent one, and I was like, oh, then I reviewed it, and it was incredible. It was like one of the best sodas I've ever had. And she was like, "Thank you so much for the great review. I'm going to send you like 10 bottles." And then she's like, "And if you ever run out, just let me know. I'll send you more."
Wow.
And we've had several companies that are just like, they love us for some reason. And like when they just send us like, even though like we've reviewed everything they have, they're like, "Oh, we'll send you some more."
Wow.
We had 2 of them that I think were pretty awesome. Is one guy from Sweden sent us this, I think it was called Good Night Drink, and it was one of the first relaxing drinks we had, but it was not available here in the U.S., and it was this guy who spoke really broken English but was super, super appreciative. And then, well, that's not a word at all. And then the other one was this guy from India who sent me one super tiny bottle of this coconut drink in the most frightening packaging I've ever received in my entire life.
He was convinced there was a child's foot wrapped up in the package.
Like I was almost disappointed that there wasn't like a thumb wrapped in like an old newspaper. But I documented it just because I was it was wrapped in brown paper bag, and then something else behind that, and then a box, and then newspaper shredded up. Like, I don't know what it was built for, but we got it, and I drank it, and I was frightened and shaking, and I'm like, "This is just coconut drink." And actually, some guy contacted us, like, "Oh, that drink sounds awesome. How can I get in contact with this guy?" And I mean, that kind of stuff happens, which is pretty cool. A lot of people. I don't know if they don't know what we do, but they contact us because they want to buy things from us, but we're nowhere near.
Oh, like they think like you guys are selling. Like,
like we're like a store that carries 2,100 drinks from all over the world. That happens
soon.
Oh God, no.
Is that the dream?
The worst
distributor
endeavor.
How many drinks do you guys have on the site? Like as of
I think
recording?
there's almost 2,200.
Wow.
I didn't know we broke 2,100, but I believe it.
Yeah, we did.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, like, before I go on, so obviously companies are excited to talk to you when you say something nice about their drink. Have you gotten something where you've had to rip it apart?
Oh, yeah.
And then have you gotten, like, then feedback from them?
I had...
you don't have to name companies if you don't want to.
I will. The one that stands... I remember very clearly is this company, Go Sports. Horrible name. For
yeah,
stuff.
that is pretty
They make energy drinks, and they sent us this, like, diet... They sent us a bunch of them, but there was this diet lemonade energy drink that was just god-awful. And I had to be honest. I was like, this is awful, this is awful. The next day, the day after I reviewed it, we get an email from their, like, publicist and was saying, hey, can you give me a call? Like, I want to talk to you about your review. And I was like, they're going to ask me to take it down. I'm not going to do it, but this is going to be so awkward. And then she's like, yeah, I'm really sorry you had a bad experience. Like, can I send you a case of that? Because I think you got a bad batch. And I was like, sure, but I don't think it was a bad batch. And sure enough, she sent a case of it, and it was nothing changed. So I didn't change my review.
We also had there's a company called Taylor's Tonics.
Okay.
They make weird, fancy flavored, like Cola Azteca, I believe, was the review that I gave a bad review, and the guy emailed us. And it was the longest email I've ever received, and also possibly the best email, because
one of those ones
he
that you
wasn't
save?
mad, but he just explained the history of it and why it tastes the way it does.
Okay.
And I actually went out and bought another bottle, like, to drink, thinking of that, and then I added a second review underneath it, because
that's nice. That's
like,
stand up.
knowing where it was supposed to be coming from and that it was like a special thing.
Maybe your I don't know, like your thoughts going into it.
Yeah,
compared
exactly.
to what? Yeah.
I would say that for me, that was a real turning point, because I think that up until that point, and that was really early, we were kind of just drinking things and reviewing them and drinking things and reviewing them. And then when he said that this is not a drink to be chugged, this is a drink that you're supposed to sip and relax and do this.
It's like
it was like it opened my eyes to just kind of the time and effort that microbrew companies like that put into it. I had an experience like Derek's, where I reviewed was it a pineapple coconut drink, and it tasted like barf, and it was probably the harshest review that
the Hanson's one?
I've read. The Hanson's one.
Oh, you guys remember like specific reviews?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was terrible. It was memorably terrible.
I mean, I don't know, 2,200. I feel like there'd be some.
This was one we all. Well, I think Derek was still in Portland at the time, but there was a bunch of us sitting around, and we all tried it, and all of us said it tasted exactly like vomit.
It tasted like vomit, and it tasted like cans. So it was like, and I wrote them, and then they sent us this new line of lemonade that they had, just like redeeming themselves. And I think I ripped one of those apart too. Like, sometimes I feel like a piece of crap, but I kind of feel like I owe it to the public.
Yeah, to be truthful.
To be honest about it.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. If you liked everything, then you'd be like, okay.
Then, these guys like everything. Who cares?
Yeah, they obviously have someone in their pocket.
Yeah.
It was around the time that we got those 2 emails, too, that we started, if we thought something was bad, we made sure to try to explain why we thought it was bad, in case that's something that other people were looking for in the drink. Because everyone does have different tastes, even if they're wrong.
We've had recently, we've had a few emails that, like, we get a lot of drinks from Big Lots.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because, like, those are, like, the drinks are being discontinued.
Yeah,
so, like,
that makes sense.
And it's kind of awesome. It's a really great resource for drinks. And so a lot of times these drinks are not, like, in production anymore, or haven't been produced for a few years.
Yeah.
And so we'll review it and give it a bad review, and the company will write us like, dude, we haven't been making that for 2 years. Like, that's probably expired.
Where did you find that?
Yeah. And so they almost like want us to take down the review because of that. But like, no,
you can get that. If you can buy it, then it's fair game.
I mean, we reviewed a 14-year-old bottle of Orbits. Like,
yes, I love that. That was now. I was actually going to touch on that, but since you brought it up, so when I read it, you said that was one third of the holy...
The Triforce.
Trifecta.
And the other 2 being Crystal Pepsi
Yep.
and Ecto Cooler.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have you been actively searching for either of those?
I look for Crystal Pepsi all the time, and you can find it on eBay. But the thing is, I'm looking for a glass bottle of the regular version.
Wow.
There's a lot of glass bottles of Diet, and the cans
They lose their
evaporate.
carbonation.
The cans in the plastic bottle will lose the carbonation, but
So it's
I've
very
read online
specific.
that the glass bottle should hold the carbonation.
Yeah.
But I don't want the Diet, because Diet is terrible.
Yeah,
especially 80s Diet.
Oh,
I almost had a lead on one because a friend of mine.
I love the lead.
Dude, we're serious about
There's
this.
like some guy in like Nicaragua like tracking somebody down.
Well, a friend
We
of
got a guy.
mine, her father used to work for Pepsi, like as in distribution, and like she remembered that he used to have a bottle, like several bottles in his garage, and like, but like he didn't anymore. But like he was gonna like ask like some friends that used to work at Pepsi as well. So it's like,
Oh my god.
we're serious about it. And also I look for Ectocooler all the time.
I've never seen any of that. I mean,
Even like after Ectocooler stopped making, they changed the name twice.
The green Screamin' Tangerine.
But it was the same recipe.
It was the same recipe, same
But
color.
like still, that's really hard to find. Like
They stopped making that in 2004. I've done my research.
That was the other thing. Like, just from when you guys brought those drinks here, like, do you guys know a lot about the juice beverage industry now?
I don't think we do, but I think
like,
we know more than
brands?
those people.
Well,
Yeah.
you definitely know more than
I think we know a lot. I think we're name droppers when it comes to drinks because we know what drinks have been out, what drinks have been there, what drinks are made out of, but we don't know the industry. We don't know
You
what's
don't know
hot,
the
what's
history.
this, what's this. Like we don't read up on anything like that. We just drink a lot.
you were just going to call out because you called something dragon fruit authentic.
Oh yeah, I called this company made some all natural dragon fruit, and I accidentally didn't read the back where it just said natural flavor, and I got these two people
Natural flavor means there has to be dragon fruit in it,
ripping
right?
me apart because there's not actual dragon fruit in it, and then that company actually sent us a case of stuff. So
That's the Patea company we actually gave you.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
they were saying that they were the only company that uses like 100% dragon fruit
okay.
in their product, and it's an insult that we said this was authentic dragon fruit. Blah blah blah. Like,
I'm with them. They're putting the effort in.
Sure.
Yeah, it's- it is
When
their
in
mouth on
actuality, I made up a fake story about dragons being in like
A lake.
Colorado in a lake, and then shedding skin into the lake, and then the distillery. None of it was like, this is a great drink. It tastes exactly like dragon fruit. Like,
Yeah.
Congratulations, my hat's off to you, this company that uses authentic dragon fruit, as I will not read from the back of this package. It was a dumb, made-up story that might have had 4 lines of, this
Actual
drink is
review.
good. It's well sweetened and tastes like dragon fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. There's this company, Mama Chia, that have sent us stuff a bunch, and I wrote this completely fabricated story about how the company started, about how Steve Chia, or Chia Steve they called him, and he actually invented Chia Pets, but his cousins stole the idea and made all the money, and he was broke, and then he made up this drink, and that's what it was. That's what Mama Chia was, and then they emailed me asking where we got that information because it wasn't true, and asked me to put a disclaimer at the bottom.
There was a point
They seriously thought you...
Yes.
Yeah.
There was a point in the review to make it even more absurd that I believe at some point Chia Steve was in the shower and had chia seeds in his beard,
And that's how
and it germinated and it started growing out of his beard. Like, this is what
And he went to Thanksgiving dinner with that without noticing.
they felt the need to argue with us that it wasn't real.
They're like asking you to prove your sources. Like,
Yeah.
please send your sources
Like,
for that.
well,
I put a disclaimer on that, and then they sent us a bunch of vouchers for free drinks.
Wow. That's like the ending of every story. And then
Yeah.
they send us a bunch
Yeah,
of
they
free
send
stuff.
us
it really is. It's a theme in this thing.
I think we should crack open some drinks because I'm a little parched.
You pick it.
All right. Do you guys want to try
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
butterfly pea?
Oh, I like
This is
Yeah, you can grab some.
This is a double drink, butterfly pea and berry, made by Ichitan, lemon flavor. I don't know what any of these things are.
That one I got on the one Asian market that's right next to Niagara Seafood. The one that looks a lot worse.
I will also assure
The
you
small
that
one
I
next to
cannot
the
read
farms?
any of the ingredients or anything on here because
Oh no, I know the one that you're talking. The one where it's like
Thailand,
2 foot deep aisles.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
With lots of like fish. Just
Yes, lots of
let's
fish.
just all talk over each other.
What Asian market doesn't have fish though?
That's true. A lot of
very
salted
true.
fish.
Well, this is like just
All
like
right.
raw fish, like on a ice.
Oh, we got sound effects.
That was nice.
Nice.
This smells actually delicious. We're supposed to use cups, I just realized. It's clear. That's unexpected. It is actually good, too.
So, how often do you guys actually review together? Like, if somebody's trying a new drink,
Only if it's something really weird, usually.
really like a big deal.
Yeah.
I think so.
The most recent one we did was asparagus juice.
Asparagus juice?
Yeah. I had a picture of a girl in a bathing suit on a beach with a comically large can of asparagus juice in the picture. Wow. It was bigger than her head, but it didn't taste like asparagus at all. It tasted like metallic soup.
Oh, that's disappointing.
This has a bit of sting to it, like a ginger ale.
Yeah, I taste that now you say
A
that.
nice pale, dry ginger ale, perhaps.
I gotta say, I like it.
It's almost like a
Everything on the back is... I don't even know what that is.
Oh yeah, there's no
Taiwanese,
English on there.
because I made that word up. It actually is from Taiwan, but this is like a uncarbonated ginger ale mixed with aloe juice without chunks.
Yeah.
A strained aloe juice mixed with
See now,
Flat as hell ginger
see now
ale.
that's I feel like you guys are the pros because like you have like this huge palette of drinks that you are comparing things to. I don't know. Like, do
I
you
can only
notice
say
that
Thank you. That is true.
that every time you have a like okay, big question. Do you find yourself that you force yourself to drink new things that you if you're thirsty you force yourself to have something
We
new
don't drink
instead
for
of-
pleasure anymore.
We don't drink
No?
for pleasure. It's the saddest part of my life that I can't drink.
Yeah, like if you're just sitting at home, you
Yeah.
can't just have some like
I
don't know,
can't just
whatever.
have anything regular because the time I spend having an iced tea,
Yeah.
a nice unsweetened iced tea, is time I could be spent drinking something with chunks in it,
Yeah.
or something that's like cinnamon and olive flavored.
Wow.
And it's honestly sad because I'm not going to say I miss a lot of things because this is awesome and
Oh,
you know
yeah.
I've got shelves full of drinks, but sometimes you want to relax.
Yeah.
But every time I drink anything else, I feel guilty because it's time that I could be spent.
See, we feel the same way. Like if I'm going out to dinner, if we're not trying a new restaurant that we don't have on the site, I feel like I'm wasting like a meal.
Sure.
Like I feel like this could have been a new post on the site, but no, we're just gonna have a slice of pizza from Lenovo again.
Every time I go to Wegmans, I go down the fancy drink aisle, and I'm instantly deflated when I see the kegs of Virgil's root beer, knowing that I will never own one.
Do you know that I have one and I've had one since Christmas?
Wait,
What?
Oh, you didn't know?
Hey guys, just wanted to jump in here and mention 2 other Audio Buffalo sponsors. Consumers Beverages. Head to consumersbeverages.com, the proud sponsor of Audio Buffalo's Craft Beer Talk. Beer, it's the new wine. And VIPseats.com. Score your bandit or concert tickets at VIP Seats. Call 1-800-371-6323 or visit VIPseats.com. And now, back to the show.
I have a keg of it in my basement, and every time I go down there, I shed a tear because it's not open. And it's a delightful.
It's like aging.
It's an adorable mini keg that I
It's a
can't enjoy.
2011.
I have to plan something like an event where we drink it. Like Thirsty Dudes will not be doing a review Thursday, March 17th, 2012, because we will be drinking a mini keg of Virgil's root beer.
That sounds like
Mark
fun.
your calendar.
I'd like to amend my review of this drink. It tastes like uncarbonated ginger ale, filtered aloe juice, flavored Gatorade.
Do you get Gate? It is a little bit like the rain, the purple rain,
Yeah.
which I think is my favorite.
I can taste the
Gatorade.
electrolytes.
That's what plants crave.
That's a nice.
This was
reference to
good,
Idiocracy.
by the way.
Yeah, it was
This is
really
a good
good.
pick.
Really.
I
I
liked
wish
it.
we hadn't started with it.
It'd been a nice closer.
Because looking at that, I think it might be all downhill from here.
Yeah. Do you guys want to try this one here?
Oh yeah.
Let's dig in.
Let's
Drink. I think
why
by
not?
the end of this, we should probably each drink like
Probably?
84 ounce. Did
Probably.
I lose ours?
Yeah.
So, you guys have had several black currant or currant, however you say that, drinks on the side I've seen.
It's currants.
Currant. What would you describe the flavor as?
I think it's grapes and feet to me.
Grapes and feet.
Maybe it's
Oh, yeah, I do
God.
smell the
Do you
feet.
get it?
maybe it's
It
how they
smells
make
so much like
wine
feet.
when they smush the grapes, but it hasn't fermented yet.
Yeah. And I think it's dirty
It's-
feet.
Oh God!
It has a really bad
So this
sock smell.
So this like bad smells reminded me of the video review that I watched recently, where I think you were trying a drink,
the chicken?
Mike.
No, it was.
It was the one that smelled horrible, but you drank it and it was actually not too bad.
Oh, the lemonade.
Yes.
That
Oh, that's
that
right.
may or may not have made me sick for 3 days afterwards.
Oh, really?
I got sick afterwards, and I don't know if I can blame it on my kid that's always sick,
Yeah.
or that drink, and I'd like to blame it on Russia, but I really can't point fingers. But that was the worst smell ever. Oh, when I opened it, that was the worst.
Yeah.
Dumped that whole
Are
thing
you
down
guys
the
like? When do you decide to have a video review? Because you guys do them kind of every now and then.
Usually something that we think might make
You don't
us
have to
throw
drink
up.
it.
We're praying that someday we will throw up on tape.
We have this rule, like even if we're like alone and we're like we have a drink and we think it might be gonna make us throw up, we have to videotape it. Hasn't happened yet.
Was it you
thought-
that had something outside? There's a video of you.
the black mushroom drink?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that wasn't that bad. I didn't know what it was though. They were like, they didn't tell me what it was.
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't
you're right.
drink it.
You couldn't see it.
I thought you, Mike, were gonna throw up from the essence of chicken drink when you figured out what it smelled like and tasted like.
Yeah.
Essence of chicken.
Oh, that video review, that was one of the hardest things I've ever had to bring myself to drink, because it was little. It was almost like a
shot,
like a
almost.
shot, like a McCormick Spice.
It looked like
a
liquid
real
bouillon.
It looked like liquid bouillon,
Yeah.
and it smelled like liquid bouillon. And then you taste it, and then it smelled and tasted like chicken and pea, and it was so spot on. And like, I've never drank pee, but I've smelled enough pee in my day to kind of say, yeah, that's what pee tastes like.
Yeah.
And it tasted like
Chicken and
pea and chicken simultaneously. I'm
isn't-
Jewish, so I can say this. This is a very Jewish tasting drink.
I wish I knew. What
I
that
feel
meant.
like we the Jews do a lot of things with cranberries and grapes, and this is like a real bitter. This reminds me of Passover, and I don't know why.
It has a weird. It's not. It's the pre-aftertaste that reminds me of when it's dark and you go in your kitchen to make a sandwich, and then you don't realize the bread is moldy and you eat it. That,
So this is a drink of surprise.
but it's only there for the slightest second, then it disappears. Is anyone else getting the moldy bread taste?
I get like a funky smell.
Oh, I mean, it's totally sock smell. Like, it's really gross. But the taste isn't that bad. It's not.
Do you guys
as bad.
almost enjoy having a weird review more than having something that you really enjoy? Or
Bad reviews, when it's absolutely terrible, it's so much more fun to write the review.
Oh, it's so easy to write. It's the mediocre reviews that's so hard to.
that just you're
that's
dragging
most-
through them?
Yeah, that's most of the time when we like just think of a story like that's completely unrelated to the drink, and then maybe at the bottom mention like that. Oh, it tasted okay.
There is nothing worse than reviewing apple juice. It is the hardest thing to review. Orange juice is hard, but apple juice is the worst.
Is it just because everything tastes the same? Or
It tastes the same, and we've drank so many of them, and they come in cool containers, and it doesn't matter because it all tastes the same.
Are you talking about the Martinelli's grenade bombs?
The Martinelli that looks like you're drinking out of a baseball, and And all the other ones, it doesn't matter, man. That's the hardest thing to review. There's stuff that comes in the middle, and then there's stuff that's just kind of uninspiring.
Yeah.
And that's when you get that's when you get the reviews, and I'll say that they're not the best reviews where it's like, I thought this was going to be good, and this and this and this. When it feels like a proper review, that's when we don't enjoy ourselves. When we enjoy ourselves, that's when you get 4 paragraphs about magicians and like a magician losing his hat while driving his car and then turning around and losing it in a puddle, and then when he puts it on his head and the puddle water drips down in his mouth and it reminds him of the drink that you're drinking, like that's inspiring.
That's pretty and that's pretty creative, I gotta admit.
Those just come.
Yeah.
How many reviews are there a day that you guys are putting up there? It's just, I mean, is there
3 to 5?
Do you guys set like a goal for yourselves or no?
I try to do at least one a day.
Yeah.
Me too.
Because my back stock of drinks was obscene. I had like almost 200 drinks in my
God.
2-drink pile, but I'm down to like 35 now.
I'm probably around there
I'm
too.
actually concerned that it's so low that I feel like I need to go out and just buy a stupid amount of drinks.
I mean, how do you guys like remember what you've already had on the site? Like, I mean, at this point, if you're going to a store, do you just know, or
We have a list.
We have a list, an alphabetical...
A live list that reads off the database that we have
okay.
access to that we can just check on our phones.
Yeah, that's
And
pretty-
somehow, I know.
Yeah.
And it might be because I've referred to the list like twice a day for 2 years, but I feel like I know what we've drank.
I feel the same way. I usually can I have a 95% chance I'll know if I just by seeing a bottle if we've done it or not. It's kind of weird and frightening that I can remember if we've done of 2,000 drinks, oh yeah, we've done that one.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you were just naming some off the top of your guys' head earlier.
And honestly, one of the weird ones that we didn't know that we did, and we probably didn't do until 1500 or so, was Mountain Dew, like regular Mountain Dew.
Oh, really?
We just assumed that we did it, and then we checked the database and we noticed that we didn't do it.
Wow.
And then Jay did a review for it, which was
Look, I'll take the crab juice.
That's pretty awesome.
Which is the second shortest review in Thirsty Dude's history.
What was the shortest?
First was for a Asian plum juice that was probably the single worst thing I've ever tasted in my life.
it tasted like Chipotle fruit.
It tasted like
And-
moldy Chipotle meat with prunes dripping on top. But,
And he had a big bottle of it. Like
I was so
38
excited.
ounces.
I was just like, plum juice is going to be awesome. And then I realized that in Asian stores, plum means prunes.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the review has a
Do you guys
reference to Spinal Tap, and it was just shit sandwich.
Do you guys have a clear memory of the worst drink? I mean, was that?
Oh, yeah.
That was yours. What was yours too?
Mine, they reviewed a different one, but I had it was a ginseng drink with root in it. It was a clear ginseng drink, and it had a ginseng root in it.
Yeah.
And it tasted like dirty plant water. Like the water that drips through the plant into the tray in the bottom. That's exactly what it tasted like. It was really, really bad.
Jeez.
I don't think I know one offhand. I've drank a lot of bad stuff.
Masala.
The masala drink was bad, but I think that, I don't know, that pea chicken one might take the cake. There's a lot of I mean, you can sort the site by worst reviews, but there's a couple that I should have rewritten the site so that you could have a lower score, because some of them were.
Yeah.
My girlfriend almost threw up with one of the masala drinks because it's just it tastes like spicy taco seasoning.
Is there-
and
is-
it's not quenching at all?
If you sort them by lowest, is there a common denominator? Is there some flavor that just never ever works?
I don't know.
I've never thought of algorithmically finding we all hate grapefruit. That's the problem.
I thought we were scientists, Mike.
That's true. My lab.
To the lab. Get the lab coats.
Has there been anything that you guys noticed that you've enjoyed? Like just something that you didn't even know existed, but now is like one of your favorite things?
No, until you said favorite things. That grass jelly drink, surprisingly good. It's a little anisey, it's a little licoricey.
All right.
It's chunky as heck, but it's better than you think it should be.
Yeah, I mean, the name's Grass Jelly.
Yeah, sure.
Before the site, I had never had an aloe drink, and now I absolutely love them.
Really? See, I picked it up and I was like...
Aloe drinks are incredible.
So good.
They are good.
I really like drinks with chia seeds in them now.
Really?
Yeah. They're like gelatinous covered, and
they massage your
so
tongue.
Weird to drink. And all of them I've had have been delicious.
Wow. When you're saying how you wish that you could have lower than a 1 score... And I recently read the guest review from Keith Buckley, and how he wanted to have like a negative score. How did you guys? Are you guys like toying the idea of having guest reviewers, or was that kind of like
he was the 4th one we've?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We had Wendy the Snapple lady do our first guest review.
Oh my God!
No,
yes.
she was second.
Was she second?
Liz Prince was first.
Liz
Oh, that's
Prince was
true.
I
first.
totally forgot Wendy the Snapple lady
Yeah.
did a review.
We've got a bunch more in the works that
Nice.
we don't want to say who it is
No,
until
yeah,
it
I don't-
actually happens, because
Yeah. I've from trying to reach out people just to do foodie articles. I know people
It's
are like,
real
"Yeah, I'll
hard.
totally do it,"
Oh,
and then
yeah.
it's like 6 months later, it's like, "You still want to do it?"
It took us a couple times to get Keith Buckley, but every time we would ask him, he would say yes, and then he would go on tour for like 6 months.
Yeah.
So I mean that wasn't his fault.
It was pretty entertaining review.
His review was great.
It was so well written.
Yeah.
when he
Because and after reading, like, he had those reviews, like movie reviews for a period of time.
Yep.
He did for, I think, Alternative Press or something.
Yeah.
Those were always really entertaining. I was excited when I saw
when
it.
we got that, when he emailed us the review, like I think we all like simultaneously were like, "Oh, this is so good!" So because it's so good when like a guest reviewer actually sends something like of substance and like well written, and it's like, "Yes, you get it."
that they understand it doesn't have to be a by the books review.
Yeah. You guys don't take yourselves like that's super seriously.
The key to a good thirsty dude review is run on sentences. I would say that is the recipe for success in everything but actual writing and literature is just run on sentences. And I think actually people who listen to us talking now might get a better feel for our reviews, because we're by no means literary savants.
Can you rephrase that to literate? We're by no means literate.
The last book I read was Howard Stern Private Parts, and I didn't make it all the way through because my mom found out I was reading it and took it from me. I am now 2 months from 30, so I don't read a lot. So no. So I don't write well, because I don't read at all, because I'm a dumb idiot.
How did you guys get a hold of the Snapple lady?
Easiest thing ever. I emailed her, and that night she was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll do it. What do you want?"
Wow.
That one couldn't have been easier. And then the other ones were your friends.
The first one was Liz Prince. She's a comic book artist. And yeah, I just friends with her. I was like, "Hey, do you want to do a guest review?" She's like, "Hell yeah!" And she was looking through our list, and like we had already done like her favorite drink, which was Moxie, and but then she was like, "You guys haven't done my least favorite drink of all time, which is Big Red." So she
the Mountain Dew,
No,
right?
no.
Just Big Red.
It's Big Red. You can't really get it up here in Buffalo. It's mostly in the South.
Okay.
It tastes like bubble gum. I like it, but these. Like, I know Jay hates it.
Terrible.
But she had a friend, because she lives in Boston, she had a friend, like, ship her a bottle.
Yeah.
And just so she could review, like, the worst thing ever. And it was really awesome. That really set off the tone great for the guest reviews. And then right before Keith, we had Meredith from the band Shoppers. Like, they were playing in town, and she was staying at my house, and she was looking through my cabinet and saw a lavender soda I had.
Yeah.
She's like, "I love lavender." And she's like, "I would love to review this for your site." I'm like, "All right." So like, that was actually the first video guest review we did.
I saw that. Yeah.
And I was just, I was like, all right, I'm my phone. Let me flip it out, and we'll do this review right now.
We had a girl named Katie who just, I think
forgot about her.
She did something about the Best Show. She was drawing pictures of the Best Show, which is podcast done by Tom Sharpling that we all listen to very religiously. And I thought it was great, and I asked her, and she was actually surprised because I asked her. And she just regular person. And I asked her, and she was stoked. So she did it, and she drew some pictures for us, and it was awesome.
Nice. That's kind of cool. It definitely helps probably get some extra traffic and notice and all this stuff. Let's try one more drink, I think.
Anything you want.
Let's do this little guy.
Oh, that guy? Sure.
It's a Mendocino pepperberry mineral juice.
Pepperberry.
Says that a delicious secret in French cuisine combines fresh ground pepper and sweet strawberries.
I love where this is going.
Yes. So excited.
So you guys must get super pumped when you see something just super weird.
Yes.
That you've never
Totally.
like, heard of.
Opener. It's a twist, but I can't get it because
No, I do not.
I have the hands of an infant.
Let me see what I can do on the old jean jacket.
Yeah.
Got it.
Oh man,
Pepperberry.
this does have
Something in it?
peppercorns
Peppercorns?
floating in it.
Oh, man.
This,
Jason just recoiled in horror after he smelled that.
Tom, you might need to get your
Yes.
cell phone ready in
That
case
bad?
anyone...
Take a video on the iPad for this.
I don't know why I poured so much for myself.
Yeah, you kept going.
I'm so stoked for what this is going to do to this.
Oh, wow.
This interview.
Did you sip it?
No, I took a really big
I'll go
sniff.
first. I won't sniff it. I'll just go.
No, let's all go at the same time.
All right.
All right.
Cheers.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, is that bad?
It tastes like strawberry with peppers on it.
Yeah.
Something tastes really, really not.
Yeah.
I like the spiciness to it.
It's really tingly. It tingles the tongue.
It hit me in the back of the throat a little bit.
It does smell
smell it?
weird.
It smells way worse than the taste. Is that like a common thing that you might smell something that just is horrible?
Sometimes, yeah.
I'm not.
There's
I'm not going
like
back to
vinegar in this.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. 'Cause I
like
actually
apple
hate vinegar.
cider.
Is anybody getting that thing where when you pour it in your mouth and you breathe in, it's choking you? Because I'm getting that a little bit. This is.
I'm getting asphyxiation.
Yeah, I was going to say this is autoerotic.
For Valentine's
I
Day.
assure you, there's nothing erotic about this drink.
I mean, I'm just getting exactly what it says. It's like strawberry and pepper.
Yeah.
It's just
If
like
someone
a
just
weird.
pour black pepper over a strawberry.
It's something about it is like fermented a little or something.
It's definitely fermented.
Yeah.
Not as much as like Fenneman's, but like
Fenneman's is delicious though. This is
it's
atrocious.
I can't get into Fenneman's.
I would give this a 2.
I would probably give it a 1, as I couldn't get through 3 sips.
Sure.
At first, like, the smell really turned me off, but I kind of... There's something about it I enjoy.
I think it burned off your
Yeah.
your nose buds.
And your nose.
Nose
hairs.
buds.
You
being
see,
what
we
you
get
smell
that
with
at 1?
as you-
like that is so
That's-
like far from a 1 to me.
No.
I would almost give that a 3, honestly.
Has there ever been, like, actual in-depth discussions about disagreements between
yeah.
reviews?
I remember one of the first disagreements I had is I reviewed a Hansen's vanilla cherry.
I could have killed
drink.
you.
I think I gave it a 2 or maybe a 3 if I was feeling generous.
I think actually you gave it a 4, and I was endlessly mad that you didn't give it a 5 because it is my favorite pop.
And
I've
instead
ever
of just like emailing me or give me a call, like he commented on my review and he's like, "How could you dare not give this a 5? This is the greatest drink I've ever had. I'm so jealous they do not have this in Buffalo. I'd be drinking it every day." It was
They do have it in
so.
Buffalo now though.
Oh,
It,
there you go.
Whatever that store is called. The
Oh, that's-
grocery.
that's-
The grocer.
That store.
What's that
So,
grocer?
I was going to ask, like, for people who are adventurous drinkers, like, where are the best places to go in Buffalo?
Adventurous or good
Like-
drinks?
Let's say both. Let's say if they want something weird or they want, like, really good sodas.
If you want a really good soda, go to Village Beer Market. Village Beer Merchant
Okay.
on Elmwood. They have a really good selection of root beers and sodas all the time. It's kind of rotating.
Okay.
And they usually have one of the Flying Bison flavors on tap too. You can get growlers.
Oh,
of,
like the birch.
they sent a birch beer, root beer.
Yeah.
They had a mint cream soda once that was
Oh.
absolutely incredible.
I had their hoppy lemonade, which was just lemonade with actual hops in it, and that was actually really good.
I think for weird stuff, we really like the Hua Market, which is over on Sheridan.
Okay.
And it's like a supermarket Asian food store, but they have an entire aisle. And if you're feeling adventurous, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But feel adventurous and also be literate, because some of their stuff is past due.
There was you mean expired?
There was no. They're charging us. They bill us after. They had an olive drink that I had in my hand that I wanted to get, and I was so stoked. And then I looked at the bottom, and it was expired for over 2 years.
But think about it this
I
way:
still almost got it.
the shaking jelly that we were getting there, those drinks, those were 2 years expired.
Those were 2 years expired,
and they were delicious. And we knew they were 2 years expired, and we went back and bought the rest of them.
I bought
to give to people because they were so
And
good.
plus, if you want to go by expired, I mean, do I have to reference Orbits again?
Okay.
We've done 15 years. That's not bad.
Orbits is an exception.
14, sorry.
I missed Orbits.
Orbits is an exception, but
and it didn't taste that good anymore.
But
it didn't make us throw up, you know? Like, it smelled like Italian dressing, but it wasn't that bad.
Jay and I went camping once and had one that was spinach, cucumber, and pear juice, and that just tasted like salad dressing, and that did not go down smooth. I think between 4 people, we got a quarter of the way through it.
Is there any like road trips you wish you could make? Because I remember watching like Food Network, and there's like some huge, it's Pop in Buffalo, but it's a huge soda outlet, and they had like
referring to Galco's in California.
I think so.
Galco's is amazing.
Went a couple months ago, and I want to go there really bad.
I was on tour with a band who will remain nameless. Yeah, when I found out we were going to be in LA, I was so excited. I said, we have to go to Galco's. We have to go. And it was amazing. It was literally like a store bigger than Wilson Farms, all soda. Like, it was so overwhelming. They had so many flavors that like I had never even heard of.
He had to call his daddy.
Did you like go in with like a wish list? Like
no. I kind of just went in you know. I was. What was frightening though is I was surprised at how many of the stuff I had seen and had tried, or we had already tried. Like, it was kind of. It took a little bit for me to find something we hadn't done, which is really frightening.
You're like thinking like, if we hit the end of the universe,
done it. Oh, I guess that one we haven't.
Got it, need it, got it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a place that Jay went to in Canada that I sent him with a list, because I didn't have my passport at the time, so I think I gave him like $40 and a list of everything that I wanted.
Where's that?
It's in Whitby, Ontario. It's about 25 minutes east of Toronto. It's called the Pop Shop.
The Pop Shop.
It's kind of like a weird like shipping warehouse, but there's a little section up front that has, I think they have over 400 different flavors of pop.
Wow.
Was it over the summer? Me and Jason were asked to be judges for the glass packaging competition.
What?
Yeah.
National.
National. That's right. The National Glass Packaging Competition.
I had no idea there was
down
a
in Washington,
competition.
D.C.
And I was to go out there and put us up and had us be judges.
But on the way down there, we stopped at this place called Village Candy, just outside of Pittsburgh, and it was like a mostly like vintage candy store, but like in the back they had like a huge cooler full of like probably 100 different sodas.
You spent $96 there because I just saw the receipt today.
Yeah. And we ended up like putting our trip back like an hour and a half because we just like talked to the owner about soda for like ever. Because it was funny because we walked in and like you could totally tell this dude just like sits behind the counter and just like listens to people like babble about Pop Rocks all day long. Like, oh, I love Pop Rocks, you know, like Bazooka Joe gum, yay! And he just like has heard it all before. And then we go right to the soda, and we're just like, and he's like, "Do you guys need any help?" And we're like, "No, we're good." And he sees that like we're really intent and like we're really like getting excited about certain sodas he has, so he inquires, and then he realized that his love of soda is a shared love, and
that's great.
It was, and the best part is that as we were leaving, he was like, next time you guys come up, give me a call because I have sodas in my basement that I don't have in the store.
my God.
That I'll totally bring out.
Private reserve.
Yeah. We haven't taken them up on you yet, but like...
That was a 3-day trip, and the entire hatchback of my car was filled with drinks by the time we got home.
I think you guys went to 8 Big Lots.
I think we did.
Yeah. that sounds about right. 8 Big Lots, at least 2
Oh my
Whole
God.
Foods, I think.
Yeah.
And like several gas stations along the way.
By the way, what did you exactly judge for this?
It was different. There was like food in glass bottles, drinks, alcoholic drinks, non-alcoholic,
Perfumes.
So you're judging on the actual bottle
The
design?
glass packaging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
We
like,
were asked
the
to
aesthetics
go.
of it, the uniqueness of it.
We were asked to go. The reason was because we've drank a lot of things out of glass.
Yep. They said, yeah, in the email, they were like,
the
we've
greatest.
seen you
That means
review a
we're
lot of
experts.
things that happen to be in glass bottles, so we
Wow.
think you might be good judges.
Holy shit.
And so, yeah, like Jay said, they paid for our hotel, all of our travel expenses down there. Like, so we're like, yeah, why not?
So it was these 2 dumb idiots and professional packagers and
Like engineers?
and
and-
engineers
Yeah.
and package designers and
A teacher from Wisconsin who teaches packaging and his
Was
students.
there like a point where like everyone's asking what they do and then they
Yep.
got to you guys?
Yep.
The strange thing though was they treated us like they're equals.
That's awesome.
Like they would like inquire what we like.
You guys were the
They'd be
rock
like,
stars.
"Oh, we think this," but you know,
Like, what do you guys think?
like, and did not like talk down to us at all.
Wow.
It was
Like-
insane.
Like they all knew each other from like these like crazy packaging like conventions and stuff. Like oh you going to PackageCon 2012 like stuff like that. Like or like you know like the editor of like a packaging magazine was there.
Wow.
Like. And it was just like so bizarre, and they're like, "Yeah, we just do a website." Like,
These people
and
live
like,
and
and they're
die.
all like, and like,
packaged-
they're all in like button-down shirts and stuff. We're just in t-shirts and jeans. We were so underdressed. It was like, oh god.
I wish you would have
They're
named
gonna
that
kick
theory.
it. Like I thought we were gonna like literally as we're going up, we thought we're like they're not gonna let us in. Like they're gonna think we're like just like making up who we are.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But and also one of the ladies that helped out with it, she was like a big fan of the site. Was she the one that like hooked us up with it?
Yeah.
And so we were kind of like just talking about drinks, and she mentioned that there was what was that drink?
the butterbeer.
Oh, the butterbeer. Yeah.
Oh, like the Harry Potter
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah, like she was saying how like they had one at a store in DC,
Wow.
and we're like, oh, that's awesome. But then like they were out of it when we were there, but she shipped us some, which is kind of awesome.
Really?
Like out of her own pocket.
It
Like
was butterscotch cream soda. I don't like butterscotch, but it was still delicious.
I saw like at that Harry Potter World or whatever, they have like a bar and you can get like a butterbeer and
Yeah,
stuff.
they actually. I think that's actually alcoholic there.
Oh, is it?
But
Oh. That's
this stuff was just pop. It's actually made in Ithaca.
really
Yeah.
nice. So I guess the final question is what is the future of Thirsty Dudes? You guys have grand plans for this
Diabetes,
site? Well, yeah, I mean that's
Cavities.
eventual.
weight gain, hair loss.
Uh.
Keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
Get more drinks because we're running low.
yeah.
Start writing more companies.
Get Kyle MacLachlan to do a guest review.
Yeah, God, get anybody.
Kyle MacLachlan.
Get
So
anybody
badly,
from
I want
Twin
Kyle
Peaks
MacLachlan.
to do a guest review.
We have so many like wants, like
Yeah.
as far as guest reviewers go, and we've tried so many, like and
Just going at it, like just trying to
Just
send an email and just hope.
I
Mike-
spent an hour yesterday trying to find contact information for Danny Elfman because I really wanted because I love Oingo Boingo so much, and I really wanted
Can you
to
get
do a
Neil
guest
Tennant to do
review. Can I get who?
Neil Tennant.
I'll see if I can get Neil Tennant. I'll get
Mike
anybody.
Mike just tweets at people like just random
Nice.
celebrities and like, hey, like, do you want to do a guest review? Like, a few have like said like yeah, but then they never follow through.
Yeah,
like
I've
it's
had
kind of
that.
frustrating.
Our biggest guest review yet is she's confirmed, and I'm just waiting to get sent in, and it's going to be magical in my
Yeah, I don't want
in
you
my
to,
world.
to say. Yeah.
Are you really that excited about it?
Oh,
We
you have
haven't
no
talked
idea.
about this.
You have no idea.
See, I'm like, I mean, I think it's cool, but like, I'm not like, but like, that's kind of awesome that you're super
Oh, yeah.
stoked on it.
I think basically just guest reviews.
Yeah.
Redesign, but who cares about a redesign? Because it's still going to have the same content and it's still writing. It's just going to look different. I think just guest reviews. And I don't know if we need to get work our way up from D to C to B stars, but we'll do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
I think that's also
actually we won't really do that much. We'll just write someone else if we don't.
We'll stalk David Lynch until he gets.
Yeah, we always wonder that, because we've been trying to contact some people, they're like, hey, want to do a guest review, but we're afraid that they're looking at the site and seeing who the past guest reviewers are like, do they think I'm that level? No way. I'm B level, not D level.
Jay and I went to see Todd Barry when he was here at Nietzsche's,
nice.
And we asked him to do a guest review, and he said, I don't know, I probably don't have time. And we thought, that's not a no. So we brought him a drink, and when we gave it to him, he said, it was like a lychee aloe drink. He's like, oh, lychee makes me gag. And I'm like, well, this is fantastic. And then he said, oh, you guys are the Thirsty Dudes, right? I went to your site. Your stuff is really funny. And I was like, Todd Barry just said our stuff was real funny.
Put that quote on the front page.
Yeah.
Yeah, just everybody we like. I think Twitter is so impersonal that you can ask anybody anything.
Yes.
But that's the problem, is that there's a million people asking you for everything. So that's why it's real hard to get people. It's real hard to get people's attention. But just guest reviews. We just want to get fame.
I'm not even interested in people that are huge and famous. More people that I
enjoy,
respect, and enjoy.
Yeah.
I think if Michael Stipe did a guest review,
Jay,
there would be no more guest reviews from Jay because he would be dead.
He would just hang up his coat. He's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay. Dream over.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming into my basement and recording this thing and sharing some drinks.
I'm glad no pipes leaked on us.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's nicely carpeted down here.
For the record, it wasn't wet down here like I thought it would be.
Our hosts are not in their pajamas.
Fact.
Yeah. I thought about it, but
Neuland is.
Incorrect.
Well, thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.